Hello, 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 wonderful people. Thank you once again for making the time to join today's session. A very wonderful evening to you. It's been a pleasure having you join YDP Ghana's live stream, and we appreciate you joining us every weekend Sunday to have this wonderful session. Thank you for joining us. Today we are going to treat an interesting topic that I think that we have been misusing, or I'll say we have been underusing, or I'll say we do not understand it as much, and hence the importance and the need for us to understand it as young people and people who are looking to, develop them, develop themselves and also grow. Today we bring you the topic, the Godfather Relationship, choosing a mentor as a youth. Okay. In Ghana, we have, kept different meanings for different words. And as the common word that we know Godfather to be, we want to talk about it today and see what it entails and the benefit of mentoring and all that that comes to the Ghanaian. So I'm going to share my screen and then we'll go ahead to do our presentation. Should I? Okay. So let me, this is not, I want the slides to be very visible. So I'm going to change the outlook to something that is more, okay, great. So the Godfather Relationship, choosing a mentor as a youth. So many of us, we want to choose, we want to choose mentors. We want to choose mentors. We want to, choose mentors. We want to ask people to support us. We want to ask people to, lead us and guide us to, as we grow. But sometimes we do it wrong. Sometimes we do it right. How can we do it? And how do we do it? Are we doing the right things? Are we making the right decisions? Now, today's lesson is going to take us through some important lessons that will guide us in choosing our mentors and knowing who are the right people. Now, at the end of the session, these are the things that you are going to know. We are going to have an introduction about the entire topic, the myth of the Godfather. Okay, we are going to talk about it. Then we are also going to have the making of a true mentorship. Okay, so there are 4 parts to this session today. So this is how we're going to discuss it. And then there's also the making of a true mentor. Okay, so I just mentioned that. And then there is the part 3, which is being mentored and being transformed. We're going to also talk about that. Then there's a part 4, the call to mentor others. After you are done going through the session, you also have to pass it on to other people. Okay, so we have most of the time we have this mentality about the Godfather, who a Godfather is, the impact they have in our life, the kind of the kind of training we have, and all that. Okay, it is crazy. It is crazy how growing up we've had our mind being delusional about who we want, or sometimes who we want to be with, how we want the people to guide us. Sometimes it's not even necessarily guiding. We want them to hold our hands to certain places, hold our hands to certain areas. But is that really what it's about? Have we misunderstood what mentorship is about? Have we misunderstood what this is really about? Or have we misinterpreted the meaning of mentorship and took it for something else? Okay, so we are going to delve into it. We are going to have a discussion around it, and we are going to learn some interesting things about the topic. So part one, the myth of the Godfather. Now, when we say the myth of the Godfather, how do you understand the concept or the myth of the Godfather? The myth of the Godfather, when we talk about it, is basically, I say, we relate it to our stories. Let me put it so, because in many African societies, we young people, mostly in most parts, are raised to seek helpers instead of learning things. We are actually taught to seek for helpers. Okay, so it's people in high places who can offer them jobs, school fees, or even connections. So these are the things we look for growing up. These are the things that we've been taught. Okay, and it creates so much dependency culture within the youth. Okay, and that is where we expect our success to come from. Okay, so the dependency culture, where youth expect success through allegiance rather than merit. You get it? So it's like, because I'm loyal to you, I have to some sort of become successful. So you have to help me become successful because I am close to you. No, there is more to mentorship than just the male culture that we have kind of built. Okay, now there's so much. Okay, so growing up, we've been taught about power, we've been taught of prestige, and we have patronage. Okay, now a person who has lived a well and meaningful life. Okay, a person who has lived a well and meaningful life. I'll have to let me just send this notice. Um, just a second. We are we have been taught and we have been trained to kind of think a certain way. So we see people in society who have power and prestige, and we think that, oh, they have arrived. So that is the most important way to go, rather than looking at the kind of impact that a person has to make. So that is the mindset that we built growing up. Okay, we are built to even love power and prestige more than we value impact. Okay, and these are some of the things that we were conditioned in our minds to make us believe that um, I mean, a person who has fame, a person who has influence is automatically successful. So automatically, when we are linked to them, we should also become like them, or they should even know. Um, we also talk about how Ghanaian youth are conditioned to seek helpers. I mentioned that earlier on. Okay, from family to faith institutions. Okay, the narrative is often finding someone to speak for you. It is what has built us. Like we used to say that these days it is who knows you or who you know. Okay, but there is actually more to it than that. There is really more to it than that. So when we talk about youth um, being or following other people, it's really not about the fact that we look for helpers, or it's not about the fact that we have to get people to help us. It's about the fact of contribution. Okay, while it is the although it is the fact of contribution, or it is the fact about contribution to, the people around you or the person that you want to affiliate yourself with, we tend to think about who can help me. Because instead of thinking about what you can offer to, a boss in a certain company, you are thinking about how that boss in that company can even give you a seat in the organization, instead of thinking about how to help the person with any of the things that he or she does. So that is the mindset that we have conditioned, okay, in our mind, and that has eaten us up. Okay, then we talk about the danger of dependence and entitlement. Most of us, most Ghanaians, most young people are entitled and are so much dependent on so much, instead of being independent on themselves. They depend so much on the people that they call Godfather. You get it? A godfather is not someone who is to hand things to you. Okay, you have to be independent, and that is what you have to fight for. It is what they look at. Okay, now a youth who depends on a godfather may never learn to stand alone. That is the fact, because you always depend on them. And so the moment they put themselves up a little bit, you notice that you find yourself wanting. So that is another danger that is associated with this myth of the Godfather. Okay. Now I'll tell you something, that some young people in political space, some of my friends who are in the political space are associated with, the political gurus in this country. You can name them. Even the former vice president, the general secretary of the NDC. I have people who are close to this. I have friends who are close to these people. But guess what? Some of them are waiting to be handed over things. Some of them are waiting to be handed over for positions to be handed over to them. But these people do not want to hand over. They want you to earn. They want you to merit whatever that is given to you. So if you feel so entitled, just because maybe you join them to campaign once, campaign two, campaign three, and you're expecting that, oh, I am qualified I am entitled to a position and by appointment and blah, blah, blah. Trust me, you've lost it right there. The Godfather, that there was a time that I saw a friend of mine post, said, to our godfathers and our godmothers, please, if you are with you and you know that there is nothing coming out of it, let us know so that we go away. So you depend on these people so much so that in the end, when nothing comes your way, it becomes like it's a wasted time invested. And that is one thing that every young person needs to take note of. It is, your time must not be wasted. Your time must not be an investment wasted. It must be something that you committed and reaped from it. But also you have to be conscious about the time that you are giving for every should I say, for every contribution that you are making in your life. So if the person is in your life, yes, but he is not contributing to your life directly, you have to find ways and means to identify why the person is not contributing to your life directly. You get the point? Okay. So that is something that the young people are doing. They are highly dependent on the godfathers, the so-called godfathers, and they forget their own responsibilities to themselves. Because you owe it to yourself to become successful. You owe it to yourself to be able to take care of yourself. You owe it to yourself to provide the basic needs to yourself. But if you are so dependent on your godfathers, hoping that they will come and teach you or give you these things for free, trust me, it's never done that way. Okay, so it's going to be very difficult for you to get these experiences from the godfathers that we've been talking about and we've been getting. All right. Now, what the godfather cannot do. Okay, so these people, they give a lot, they do a lot of things for us, but sometimes it's not everything that they can do. Okay, now you depend on them and also, but It's not everything that they can do. Okay, why some powerful people can mentor you? So I'm talking about there are so many powerful people. Like I was saying, they are highly political people that some of the young people are affiliated to, but they simply can't mentor them. Why? Because influence is not the same as investment. Yes, they can mentor you because influence is not the same as investment. Okay, if the person can influence your life, it's not the same as the investment they are making in you or you are making in them. So you have to differentiate the two. Uh, 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 let's say, uh, um, how should I say? If the person can have an impact on your life, doesn't mean that he has made an investment in your life. Let me put it that way. So you admire him from a distance, you admire him from far, but he is not able to contribute to your life. Yes, he has not invested in your life. He has not given you anything directly to improve your life. If for any reason an influence of a person can affect you, it depends on you, the individual. So don't think that some powerful people, the minister of finance, the president, the deputy the vice president, or whatsoever they may be, can simply mentor you because they have influence. No, there's two different things. When they have to invest in you, some invest financial resources, some invest their time, some invest their knowledge, others invest their skill. So if you're not getting any of this, means you are not being mentored. Okay, so it doesn't mean that when they are when they are powerful, they automatically can mentor. No, mostly some powerful people cannot even mentor at all. Now you should also know that visibility is not the same as accessibility. Know the difference. Visibility is not the same as accessibility. Okay. Just because they are known, they are popular, doesn't mean that they also know you. No. So don't assume they know you. If you admire somebody and you like them because they are popular, you shouldn't automatically think that these people know you. Okay. Now, if you want them to mentor you, you have to make an effort to introduce yourself to them because automatically they don't know you. All right. Now, knowing you also comes in different forms. Okay. Knowing you can be the investment you've made in their life. And so they know that I have this person who has made this kind of investment into me. So I am okay to also give this kind of investment back to the person. All right. And there is that knowing where there is they know you by name and surrounding because if they are I'm talking more political because this topic I see most of the young people who are entering into politics confuse the fact that they are supporting or they are following a course from the people they follow. Okay, it's two things. You following a course and following the person is different from the person being a godfather, in this case, a mentor. Okay. So you need to be able to differentiate between the two. If the person is popular, yes, you are in a group and you know the person is popular. What have you done for the person to identify you as an exceptional person among the group? All right. That is one thing that needs to be seriously considered as a young person. Okay. Because if the person is known, let's say we take the communication director of the National Democratic Congress, and you know him, you admire him, you want to get closer to him. I mean, this guy doesn't know you. If you want him to train you, if you want him to teach you, there's a way you have to go about it, and that is make the conscious effort to make some kind of contribution into his life. Okay. Now, they cannot mentor you when admiration becomes this empowerment. Yes, when admiration becomes this empowerment. Okay, so sometimes you idolize someone so much that it can paralyze your potential. you stop acting and you start waiting instead for permission. Okay, so sometimes you are around these people, you idolize them, you like them so much, and instead of taking up your own initiative, you are just, surrounding them and waiting for them to tell you something to do. Okay, you are waiting for them to give you green light. You are waiting for them to, just so you are seen. No, it disempowers you. It tells that, it even tells the Godfather that you are not even capable. Okay, that's what it means to the Godfather, that you are not even capable. Okay, so that is something that you should take note as a young person, as you grow, as you look for mentors. These are some of the things that you look out for. Not all people, not all powerful people can mentor. Okay, now when mentors become messiahs, yes, when mentors become messiahs, yeah. So there's this is something that I want to put across, that I had the I'm saying this because I want to say this because uh, uh, not every mentor means well for you. Okay, not every mentor or not every godfather, as you may call it, means well for you. Okay, some of them just use their position to control or exploit young people. And so when you fall in their nest, they control you. All right. Now, let me say this story. Let me say this story. So one time I was, I when I was growing up between 2015, I wouldn't say, but I would say, transitioning, during transitioning, let me put it that way, between 2015, 2018, because I made some key decisions there. And there's this man that was I'll say is a father to me and to a number of children. Where I grew up, we had a lot of fathers, but this particular one that I like so much, because when he talks vision. When he's speaking, he speaks into the future. So you think that, wow, I mean, this guy has a vision that you can tap into. So you can walk by this person and learn a thing or two. Okay. So this is something that I came out as a young man. I wanted to do so much for myself. I have a lot of ambitions to carry on my shoulder, and I want to accomplish everything. So I set target for myself by a certain age, I should be able to accomplish certain things. Okay. I remember one time I had I wrote down my plan, said I wanted to become a member of parliament by 2030, and I wrote everything I wanted to do as a young person, and I wrote that this person, I want him to guide me and everything. After writing everything, that was between 2018, 2020. Okay. Now, this is someone I know is politically exposed. He knows people in the political terrain. He knows people who have been in the political space for years. So he himself has been there. So he knows a thing or two. I presented this to him. He looked at it and said, okay. And that was it. Like, that was it. Nothing. This was surprising. And I asked, what does he think? He said, oh, it's not bad. It's good. It's a good dream. I said, okay. And I left. Now, this same person, growing up, this same person had a business, and I was, entering to the university. I wanted to join the business. I wanted to join the business and make some income. When I wrote a letter, so I was in the university and I wrote a letter to him, an application letter, to be enrolled in his business as a, you may call it anything, so that I cannot disclose, because I'm trying to keep this to myself. But I mean, I can't share the name of the person. I can't share more information. So what happened was that he took the application letter, kept it in his room because I wasn't able to go to deliver it myself. I gave it to someone to deliver. So when the person came, I asked, "Did you deliver the letter?" He said, "Yes." So he had taken it and kept it in his home office. I said, "Okay." His home office. That means definitely once it's not on the dining table or it's not in the sitting room or in the kitchen, home office definitely would, because these are people who always enter the office. So I waited and waited and waited. There was no feedback, and classes were in session. I decided that okay, um, I decided that I would wait until when he comes for visiting. Yes, I said earlier, he's my father. He was a guardian. So when he comes, I waited, and when he came to the campus, I was in the university. I was in my first year. I asked him, um, "Did you receive my letter?" He said yes. And any feedback from me? He said he has seen it, but he has not opened it. I'm like, wow, wow. Now I was shocked to the bone. You know why? Because he knows I admire him a lot, and I've stayed with him for years, and I've worked in a house. I've done a lot of working in the home and done a lot of here and there. So as the young guy that I am, that I've contributed at least a little to some domestic services and growing up and looking to earn some income while in school, I don't think this is too much to ask for. I want to work. It's not like I'm asking for money for free. I want to work. So I bring in an application. At least say, oh, you saw it, but there's no vacancy, or just, say something that shows that at least you've heard. He said, oh, he has not taken a look at it and blah, blah, blah. So today, if it's today that you look at it, well, God is there to watch. But it never came up. So you see, you may idolize someone. You may think that this person is, I mean, the big deal. This person is the big deal, but it is not. Moving on, eventually, I mean, later during my university education, later in the mid, I became part of a company that was raising me, an organization that was raising me. Decided to join. I had these two people in picture. I was working for one, a female, and I was now, listening from the other. I had the opportunity to run up the ranks, and they emphatically told me that they told our superiors that I do not qualify for the role. But here's the catch. My immediate superior, I did every work that she was supposed to. So I was executive assistant. I was assisting the work that we were doing. And I was handling about a number of universities, students from different universities across the country. KUSC, University of Ghana, Ho Technical University, Takrady Technical University. So you can name them. It's a lot of them. And I was doing all the work in, when it comes to finances. I'll do the budget sending, I'll do the expenses sending, I'll do everything. So I knew the ins and outs of everything that we're doing. I was booking meetings and I was organizing a lot of things. And when it was time for me to move up the ladder so that they could also move up to a different sector, they denied it. They told me that they said I'm not ready. I was shocked. It's like, but I do everything. Like I do everything. I literally do everything you do. So how come? That was where I knew that I'd wasted my time. Guess what? I wanted to do national service. So 3 years of full-time work in that company while in school, yes. I was working full. And also, after I mentioned to them that because of work I'm doing for them, I cannot do national service in different company and all that. So we spoke about all that. And when it was time for me to do service, I had so many opportunities to do national service in different places. But when it was time to do the service with them, you know what they told me? That there's no space, there's no work to do in the organization. I cannot be here and work, blah blah blah, a whole lot of stuff. So I lost all my opportunities. And so the I had to call a few people, and I got opportunity in one institution. Yeah, I spoke to a few people, got opportunity into one institution, and did my national service with them. And while national service, I got a job, and the person supervising me, we arranged, and I was so reporting to him. I was working and still reporting to him, and was so he was actually kind of supervising me, my work here and there. Get it? So this person is not my mentor, but the people that I took as mentors, yes, because I told them that I am looking up to them. I told them that I'm learning from them so they can advise me. They don't want me to progress for some strange reason. So here's the thing. Not every mentor means well for you. That's one thing you should know in your mind. Not every mentor means well for you. You have to keep that in your mind. And when you are selecting your mentor, it is very important to select your mentor. Okay. But you have to know that not all mentors means well for you. Okay. All right. So toxic mentoring. So some of them just manipulate. They just want to control time. So they control from controlling time to career decisions. Manipulation can wear mental. So there were times that I had to present my plans to my mentors, and at some point, I was told that my plan is not a plan, and they couldn't even offer an alternative. Okay, so they would just want to let you know that you are inferior, and there's nothing you can do indirectly. Okay, it's just like somebody telling you, "I want to help you," or "I will help you," but really they are not helping you. Okay, that is what was happening in me. So they give you false hope and then no guided growth. Okay, so a true mentor doesn't make promises they can't keep. They give direction, not dreams. Okay, so like I was saying, they tell you that we'll do this for you, we'll guide you, we'll give you this, we'll give you this. Because I was getting that a lot. Okay, oh, we will give you the support you need to go into your political career, we'll give you the support, and when you are able to carry yourself to a certain level and you even need a certain financial support, you don't even get it at all. They tell you, I don't have it, I've invested in this, I've invested in that, I've experienced this, so many excuses. You never get any support in them. Earlier when I was telling you that there must be some form of investment, either skill, time, resources, financial resources, okay, or knowledge. So if you're not getting these things from them, it means that you are in the wrong space with the wrong person. Okay. Now they are so I've just I'm just using my story. So I just wanted to use a few stories, but I have just told you my story about a field mentorship. Okay, I'll just tell you about another one that is failed, not because of any how do you call it? Any bad intentions, but because of time, unavailability, um, unable to schedule appropriately. So there's this very big man, president of a university. I approached the person, so I admire the person so much in the spiritual aspect. So I just needed for the spiritual aspect. Not so I just wanted to learn a little bit of career from the person as well as the spiritual bit. So I decided to just, getting closer. One day I approached the person. I want you to mentor me. He said, "Oh yeah, I agree. I want you to blah blah blah." We discussed and everything. Now this man is so busy. Today he has traveled. Tomorrow he has traveled. You don't even get to see him. You go and see him, and he has to just make time of his shadows for you. And because it's you, he can't just let you go like that. You get it? So he has to make time for you. So sometimes you have to book in advance. By the time you come, priorities. Yes. So if you're a priority one or priority two, you know what happens. So if you're not priority one, you come to priority two. So then priority one is in motion, and you priority two just come in passing. So that was the experience that was going on between me and that mentor. So as a mentee, I felt like I needed more. So I kept looking and kept looking. But funny enough, you don't I was so careful and so careful that I didn't want to enter into a situation where I would be kind of into manipulation. I don't want anybody to, because of my experiences. So I didn't want it to. It was really difficult for me to trust people, even when some of them, see, I came across people who willingly offered, not directly spoke the word back. They willingly wanted to contribute to my growth and development. All right. So sometimes it's just the fact that you have to know who really uh, means well for you and who doesn't mean well for you, but you have to determine that. Okay. So sometimes some mentoring or mentorship activities feel sometimes successful based on time availability and also resources available to both parties. Okay, if I'm in Kumasi, you are in Accra, and I have to travel. I don't have the money. How can I come? If the mentor doesn't also have the resources to give you, I mean, you don't get anywhere to go. Okay, now we will go to part two of today's session, and we are going to talk about making of true mentorship. Okay, the making of a true mentorship. Okay, so what mentorship really is. So if everything you said is not mentorship, then what is mentorship? So let's just talk about mentoring versus. I'm not going to give you the definition, but I'm just going to tell you brief about some of these things. Okay, now mentorship is often confused with networking and sponsorship. Okay, yes, it's usually confusing networking and sponsorship. It's different where you know the person and you are in relationship with the person and you talk every day. And it's different when the person gives you resources, gives you money. They just give you to support you. It's different. Okay. And it's also different when the person says that I want you to step here. I'm here with you. If you move to A, I'm here with you. So that is mentoring. For mentoring, the person is always working with you, tells you do A, do B, do C, do D. So after all my experiences, I ended up with one wonderful woman who, you see that if you find a good mentor, let me tell you something. If you find a good mentor, they actually check up on you, they keep you on their calendar and keep you on their schedule. Okay, that is one thing, So this woman would call me and check up on me and ask what is happening in my life. I can't remember that I've been calling. But there's one thing is for sure. By the time she calls me, everything I have on my list to do during our previous discussion is all accomplished. And so she's happy and you see, so anybody, yes, she's a woman, anybody can mentor you. So she's happy to hear all that I'm doing and everything, the progress that I'm making. And so she's so excited and so happy. But when it comes to networking, it's just I would say it's an opportunity space. It opens opportunities. So networking is more about it's a place that doors usually open. So you know this person, you are in a relationship with the person, and there's opportunity to link you up. Okay, that is different. Okay, so sometimes just a second, I need to fix. I think my machine is. So we talk, and she's able to get me to voice out all that is necessary to keep me moving. Okay, that is excellent. And that is what mentors do. People who mean well for you, keep you on their schedule, they make time for you. Even if it's 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, some of them will tell you, can give you 2 hours a day. Okay. So my mentor, we've gone out, we've gone out for dinner, and we talked, and we've booked another one that we are yet to go. And we'll keep doing that for a number of time. But trust me, most of the time, she initiates, oh, let's go for dinner, let's go for this. So after our last discussion over phone, I decided that okay, from now on, I'm going to be the one to do all that because she does a lot of it than I do. Okay, and that makes me a bad mentee because I'm even supposed to even do more than she does. But as a mentor, they make time for you, and a mentee also. So the mentors work with you, and for sponsors, okay, so they give you resources to be able to buy the things that you want to do or support you with the resources that you want to do the things you do. Okay, so we talk about role models versus mentors. Role models inspire from afar, and mentors build up close. That is the difference you need to know. Role models. So maybe um, I want to be an investor. Okay, so a mentor doesn't necessarily have to be someone who have um, I wouldn't say someone who necessarily have to do what you do because anybody can mentor you, can guide you in the dream that you want to go. They can guide you in the path that I want to. It would be excellent to have someone who does the same thing as you do, but it will also be wonderful. It's also equally good if you have someone who doesn't necessarily do what you do. Okay. A role model is someone you see from afar. Maybe I'm an accountant. I want to be like the greatest accountant in the country. Okay. And so I admire if Professor Tulik. Professor Tulik is one of the biggest accountants in Ghana. He was the former chartered accountants president or president of the chartered accountants of Ghana. And he's also the vice president of Heritage University. He's a lot of things. He's consult for different governments across the country, different international organizations in accounting, public sector accounting especially. So if he's a role model to me, he's not my mentor. I just watch him and I admire him from afar and I aspire to be more like him or even better. Okay. But when we talk about a mentor, they are with you. They are not far. They are just with you. They are your step. You make a step, they are there with you. You make step two, they are there with you. You make step three, they are there with you. If you fall, they help you rise up. That is a mentor. They guide you. Okay. So that is what you should know about a mentor. And then, so when it comes to the science and hype behind true mentorship, now research shows mentorship improves academic performance, job placement, and emotional health. Okay, so basically, it helps you to perform better in academics. It helps you when you're looking for a job. They guide you to know what best suits you and what to do, and you get better job placement that fulfills you. And also emotional health. They guide you to every bit and aspect of you. Okay. And what mentorship looks like in Ghanaian and African contexts, from tailoring shops to choirs to cocoa farms, mentorship in Africa is relational, not institutional. Okay. Learning often comes through storytelling, community, and apprenticeship. This is us. This is our star. Okay. We mentor people. So it's why sometimes a person travels somewhere, he sees a child, so I like you. I want you to come and stay with me and work with me, and I'll teach you. Some of them eventually end up, taking the children through child labor and child trafficking among a lot. So, but most people are able to teach you. They're able to teach these young ones trade and through apprenticeship. Okay, so this is how the science in the Ghanaian and African context looks like. They teach you what they know. So they bring you directly under their foot. And as they do, you are learning. As you do, you are learning. All right. Okay. So you have to leading with Okay, so I think that is what I want to say on this matters. I think I'll move on. Okay. Now, when we are saying that you are selecting a mentor, what are the things you look out for in a mentor? Fine. One, value alignment, availability, experience, and humility. So I was telling you about my experience of a um, field mentorship. Okay, this person literally did not have, even if they do, they did not show alignment with my values. Okay, they were two different people. Talk and not do. No, I am talk and do. They talk and don't do. So I was kind of difficult to follow up. Availability. I told you my second experience, the person wasn't available, so it didn't work out. Experience. You must look for someone who is highly experienced and highly qualified, someone who has more experience than you, someone who has more knowledge to even guide you to do whatever you want to do. You get it? Now, the different mentors for different seasons. So you must know that as you grow, certain people can even change. Certain people don't even align with you anymore. If there is a need to change, you have to change. But here is what I see. You must have mentors for everything that you do. If you're a Christian, you must have a mentor for your spiritual life. If you are an accountant, you must have a mentor for that. There's the one general one who guides you to meet your goals and objectives and everything. But for every field that you do, for everything, you should have a social mentor. You should have a so that teach you through. That is what I've been telling people. So if you don't have all these things, sometimes it's difficult for you to navigate around. Okay. So the red flags in mentorship relationship, or how to spot a healthy mentor. Um, uh, uh, so they demand loyalty over learning, disrespects boundaries, and takes credit for your growth. Okay. Now, these are the people that when you have, you know that these are red flag people. And I've experienced that a lot. My previous people, when you are growing, what is due you, you don't get it. They take credit. Okay. So you don't even feel valued, even in the eyes of other people. And how to spot a healthy, look for someone who serves your future without tying it to their ego. Okay, they create space, not cages. So they are able to guide your path. They are able to guide whatever you do. They are able to, tell you, oh, pass here, pass there, do this, without saying that I have taught you this, I have taught you that, I'm expecting you to do this. They end up controlling you. Or no, look for people who makes it look comfortable. All right. This makes it very healthy because the very best mentors don't flaunt their rank, they invest in people. So if you're not getting this, you are in the wrong place. Now, how to attract a mentor without begging? How to attract a mentor without begging? Okay. Now, you don't have to beg to be mentored. That is for a fact. You don't have to beg anyone to mentor you. You don't have to beg someone to come and catch you. But you have to become worthy of investment. You get to first, you need to show your hunger for growth. Before that, first you need to serve. You need to serve. Before you show your hunger for growth, you need to serve. Before they even start looking at you, you need to serve. These days, no young person wants to serve, but you need to serve. Serve before you seek. You serve, and during your service, they see that you're initiating growth. You initiate, your initiative is attractive, and it's attract insight. So they understand that now this guy or this lady is showing hunger for growth. And then also you need to develop some form of volunteer spirit within you. Because many mentorship are born from service. Show up, stay long, serve well. This is how some people observe. So they pick you and so you have to also watch these aspects as well. But one thing you need to know during this is that sometimes When you are saving in there's no future for you where you are, you will know. So you have to work out. Don't say that it is well, it shall be well. Be careful. Because this mentoring, if it doesn't go well, it will affect your entire life and life journey. Part three. So we've done 15 minutes, time is going. We should be moving quickly. We have four parts and we are on the third part. So we should be working faster to wrap up. Okay, so the part three, we're talking about being mentored and being transformed. Okay, so becoming a teachable mentee. What does mentors look for in a mentee? Mentorship is not entitlement. You must be ready to receive correction, advice, and truth. Okay. Now, mentors will look out for consistency, humility, hunger, and accountability. If you don't have this, you are done. Okay. Now, discipline, humility, and resilience. This is also often a pruning season before promotion. Okay, so there's going to be a time that you're going to have these things. If you don't have it, you don't even get the promotion at work. So it could be career, it could be anything aspect of your life. You either lose the person for life or that's it. So that is something you should take a look at. Now, how to receive correction and don't argue when you are being corrected. Okay, when you're being given every instruction, don't argue. Not every instruction means they don't like you. You have to learn, you have to practice, you have to reflect on everything that is being taught you. Okay. Leading through crisis and stepping up when it matters most. See, true mentees use hardship as a training and not a hiding place. I know that is not something that is there, but you also have to, learn how to lead through crisis. You have to lead yourself. Okay. You have to be able to lead yourself through crisis. So there's some chaos around you, some chaos around you. How do you maneuver around that? I remember there was some tiny chaos, and that is where some of these my people that I've spoken to you about my mentor, they and guide and boss, yes. One time we had a very chaotic situation. I was calm about it. I do what I'm supposed to do. I go and come. She was so frustrated, so not so okay. But I felt very composed. And so after the entire thing and everything, she called me. She was like, my composure kept her in position, very composed, and she was okay. And it was because of me that she was able to maneuver through. Otherwise, if I was also in chaos, she wouldn't have known, things would have gone haywire. So I was like, oh wow. I didn't know. I didn't know that I'm just naturally like that. So this is something people look at how you manage yourself in crisis. So you have to, consider that as well. Okay. Now the journey is two ways. It goes and it comes. All right. So the mentor learns too. Okay. They also learn. Yes. Every mentor also learns. So you bring fresh ideas. So for young people, we're always bringing fresh ideas, the energy and insight. Good mentors are open, want to learn, they embrace it. Okay. And both are supposed to grow from the youth perspective. Imagine that I have, or you have, or let's say anybody has a mentor who is about 60 years. These people have different ideologies about world and technology. And a young person like me is also exposed to different side of the world and technology. It's also different from a person who is born in 2000 who also have different ideas about technology. So if you meet a younger person, they definitely have a fresher idea, fresher things, new things. They're exposed to different things that you can learn. If you have a mentor who's not ready to learn, this is something that you know that you are in a toxic mentor. Okay. Now, creating accountability in mentorship. Set goals, track progress, have honest check-ins. Okay. You have to have honest check-ins. Without it, gosh, there's nothing going to work between you and your mentor. Okay. Without it, without goals, without tracking progress, and without being honest to each other, you can't. Okay. You when your vision exceeds their guidance, move with honor, not arrogance. Okay. Sometimes you can do better than them. You can do better than them. Okay. At a certain point, you are progressing and doing, you are going so fast. When it happens like that, don't think that you have outgrown them, so you'll be arrogant. No, you have to slow down. Instead of going arrogant, you have to be humble and respectful and still recognize them as your bosses, a superior in guide. Okay, so part four, the final part of our session. I I must say you are a mentor too. You're also a mentor. Why am I saying this and how? Okay, so every youth is a mentor in training. Every youth is a mentor in training. Why am I saying every youth is a mentor in training? Um, um, you've received the training, you've received it, you pass it on. Okay, you don't need to wait till you arrive. Okay, something I said to myself when I was growing up. So this was all part of my plan. That was boycotted years back, but then I had to recover them all and start working out my thing. You don't need to be say I'm successful before I start doing the things I need to do, before I start helping people that I need to, before I start talking to people. No, no, no. Actually, a true individual who has vision for themselves never really arrives. You never really arrive. Okay, you keep learning, you keep growing, you keep teaching. And so every youth is the mentor in training. While you are learning, you're also teaching. Okay. So every youth must give back. So what you've survived can guide someone else. So if I tell my life stories to other people, even adults, aged people who are older than me, learn from my story. Okay. Learn to do some peer mentoring and reverse mentoring. You can learn from each other. Okay. Even older mentors and need your tech skills and trainings. Yes. Older people, like I was saying, 60 years, only sure you can't do anything competing. You teach them a few things. So you learn. You also do reverse mentoring. Okay, so you learn the things you learn in IT and all that. You come back and you come and teach your mentor. That does not mean you're mentoring them. Yes, you are doing, but you are teaching them a few things from what you have learned. You give back. Okay. You have to build a culture of shared learning. You normalize asking for help and offering help. Okay. Also, you have to grow and mentor others in future. Start with your younger siblings, classmates, or community. Share knowledge. Invite others in. Everybody around you. And do that. You also can do that. Okay. Now, empower others. Build teams and not followers. Necessarily, I was telling you, we are focused more on fame than impact. We are focused more on prestige than impact. We are focused more on power than impact. We are focused more on so much than impact. Okay. And I want to let you know that you have to look beyond this. All right. So here's it. This country needs mentors and not godfathers. So, like I was telling you about my political friends, most of them are stuck with godfathers rather than mentors. So we must replace dependency with empowerment, secrecy with community. You get it. So instead of saying this is my godfather, he's supposed to help me into the political arena, why not say, okay, I need this person to work with me so that every step I take, there's this other friend I have, he's being guided. I see his work, he's being guided. Christian is being guided. His mentor is the Minister for Sports and Youth and Sports, and also the MP for Green constituency. Christian will always, this man is always working with Christian and directing him the things to do. They are doing something for the community, Christian is leading. They are doing something for this, Christian is leading. They are doing something for a constituency, Christian is leading. You see Christian everywhere, you see the man with him. The man here, Christian is here. That is method. That is not Godfather. The Godfather, you expect him to do everything for you. Christian takes initiative by himself. Okay. So this is something that I want you to, take note of. Okay. Now you need to change the national mindset. You need to change it. Okay. Move from handout to hands-on leadership. Let's stop avoid I hold my hand to this position. No, let's work our way up. Let's merit it. Okay. So NGOs like us, we create mentorship structures. We celebrate integrity over influence. Okay. We celebrate impact over influence. We celebrate impact over prestige and power. That is what youth development, youth NGOs do for nations and countries. Okay. Now, we must also provide community-based mentorship models that work, okay, like apprenticeship programs, youth leadership groups, peer coaching circles, etc. Like so many, okay, that we need to do for in the space. Okay. Now, when we talk about not, I mean, we need mentors and not godfather. What I'm trying to say in a nutshell is that as a young man, you don't have to be dependent on anybody. You don't have to be dependent on any individual. You don't have to focus on anybody. You just have to be dependent by yourself. Okay. All right. So this actually uh, brings us to the end of today's session. And I want to say a very big thank you. Now, what I want to leave with you is that as a young person, you have to write a letter to your young self. Okay. Write a personal reflection. Okay, to your past self about what you have learned from mentorship and Godfather relationship. Okay, yes, this is what I want you to do, and you have to try your best to do it. Write a letter to yourself and about mentorship or Godfather relationship, what you have learned and what you wish you have known. Okay, and live by it. All right. So in this, you need to have also you need to set goals for yourself. You need to have personal goal settings, and you have to keep updating them all the time. You also need to start. If you don't have a mentor, you need to start finding ways and means to approach mentors and selecting mentors. We've shared a few things with you. Okay. You also have to reflect on some of the things that you've written in your development so that you understand the perspective that is coming from. Okay. So thank you so much for your time and thank you for being on the call with me yet another evening. I'm so grateful for being with YDP Ghana and say a very big thank you to you and have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Bye.